watching for lots of knitting and crochet on Yarn Lane. You don't need to change channels. Pop the kettle on and meet us back here in a couple of minutes. You can also watch on the Yarn Lane YouTube channel and Facebook Live. To get a sneaky peek of the products featured on the show and shop, please go to the Yarn Lane website at www.yarnlane.com or via our UK call centre on 0800 4 700 600. And remember, if you've already shopped with Sewing Street today, you won't pay any more postage and packaging for shopping with Yarn Lane because it's 1p&p across both channels all day.
Have you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn, bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com.
In need of a crafting fix? There are so many ways you can watch Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. Sewing Street is live from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day on Freeview 72 and Sky 670. Alternatively, if you want to watch us on a tablet or on the move, you can tune in on our YouTube channel, the Sewing Street app, or the websites at www.sewingstreet.com and www.yarnlane.com. You can watch past shows on Sky 670 from 1 p.m. every day, as well as our YouTube channel, the app, and our website. Yarn Lane is on from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Visit our programme guide to find out when and what's on. So you never have to spend a minute without us.
Hello, welcome to Yarn Lane. It's been a while since I've been here. I don't actually know whether I've done a Yarn Lane show since I've been back. It's been absolutely ages, so it's lovely to have your company. Thank you all for joining us. Those of you that have stayed with us from Sewing Street, remember it's only 1p&p across the board. Those of you that are just joining us, yes please. Those of you that are just joining us right now, then remember, open your order nice and early. We've got some kits that are back. It's the same account from Sewing Street, same login details. It is a really, really lovely show today. We're repeating some kits that sold out previously. Crochet and knitting today, but you can see behind me these really lovely crocheted and knitted tops, which are gorgeous. Everything is on the website. Everything's there on pre-order. It's probably the easiest way to shop actually on the web. Had problems on our website earlier on, but they're all fixed, all ready to go. So if you are shopping at all, go to the web, yarnlane.com, click watch live. If you scroll down then you'll see all of the kits. Our internet's being very slow though today. There you go, on pre-order. All of the kits. So you've got the Mariner Silver Grey lace back top, which is the one that's behind me. You've also got the crocheted ones. You've also got all of the pink. We've got all the different colourways. The variegated is gorgeous as well. Everything that you might need, your needles are all there as well. Right, so should we start with the crochet? We're going to go through with Katharine everything that you need to know, but we've put together, well, Marina put together some kits for you to be able to create the blue. So the pattern, we're going to go straight to Katharine as well because she's going to talk me through. I'm not going to pretend that I'm a huge expert on crochet. I can do a chain stitch. I'm getting there. We're learning along the way, aren't we, here at Yarn Lane? So, hello, first of all, for anybody who's not been watching Sewing Street. You've been here since...
Oh, forever.
7 a.m. this morning, haven't you? It's gone really quick today, though, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a lovely morning.
It's lovely to have you, especially because you love knitting and crochet, don't you?
I do.
This one's got a lovely pattern, Katharine.
It has. They're like a little fan, aren't they?
Really, really nice.
So it looks reasonably tricky, but it isn't. If you can do a treble and a chain, you can make this garment.
Brilliant.
It's
So
only got 2 stitches, really. It's just the order you put them in.
So the 6 that you get is enough to be able to do the whole top, I presume.
Let's have a quick look. Absolutely, easily. Yes. So your sizing on this pattern goes up from a 32-inch bust up to a 40-inch bust, and you can do it with sleeves or without sleeves. So if you choose to do it with sleeve, which is like the white one on the mannequin behind Vicky, then that takes you 6 balls.
Right. Okay.
But if the one you've got on the desk is the sleeveless one, so you have a choice on that. And at this time of year, actually, a little kind of like a
This over a jumper, polo
vest
neck,
top
I'm
over a
thinking.
thing to layer up is a really good idea, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they're quite on trendy, a sort of trend, aren't they?
They are.
I don't know what to call them. Vests. They're not vests to me.
No, just like
Because a vest you wear
pullover.
underneath.
Like a pullover.
Yeah.
Yeah, a vest you think of underneath, don't you? But no. We've got our lovely Amy modelling them in the pictures, and you can see just over the top of a stripe. It looks great, doesn't it? The white with the longer sleeve as well still works. Still works.
Then you've got them for summer too.
Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely.
So you get all your pattern as well, £20.99. This one we have had on in the past before, haven't we? And back in a different colourway. And lovely, I must mention Adele Coward, who has actually crocheted this for us for on the show. And I just said to Catherine, it amazes me. Our viewers are incredible. So thank you ever so much for that one. The same top we do have available in white as well. So it's exactly the same. You have the same pattern. You can do it in the short sleeves, you can do it in the longer sleeves, but with, and you get enough yarn to be able to do either. £20.99. Now, it looks, I know it's just the different colours, but because of the different colours, you see the fans slightly different. I didn't notice that they were the same pattern, but yes, they are. They've got this lovely fan shape, which you say is only 3 stitches.
It is. So when you start off this particular pattern, you start off with some double crochet at the bottom. You can see that makes your little kind of rib hem at the bottom.
Now, are we talking UK terminology here?
We're talking UK terminology. Only do UK really.
Okay.
We're on a 4mm crochet hook, but remember to check your tension because obviously it is a garment and you want it to fit you. So if you're particularly loose or a particularly tight crocheter, then you can adjust your hook accordingly.
And so do you make a tension square to do that?
Yes, and it does tell you to do that here. 4 trebles across 4 rows should measure 1 inch by 2 inches. So it's a really tiny tension square, which is quite nice actually.
Yeah,
you haven't got
you
to
just
like
want to get on with the garment, don't you?
You do, but that's a really small one, so that's quite cool. So we've made our chain and we've done our doubles. We've got a 5-row pattern, which is a combination of, as you can see, trebles and chains. And the only bit to watch with it really, because once you've done a couple, you get where it is. The only bit that you need to watch is on your edges, because it's slightly different, so that you keep a nice straight edge. You've got to do the right number of trebles or chains at the edge of it. So don't just assume on each row that you know.
Okay.
You will just need to refer to the pattern. So I've done a 5 and then I've done a 4 as if I'd gone all the way up and I was ready to do my armhole shaping, because I was going to show you how you go across and do your armhole shaping because you've got to keep your pattern going, you see.
Okay.
So as you may have, I don't know if you remember, Vicky, you've always got a lot of counting in crochet, haven't you?
Yeah.
This is why it's
so
hard
I don't distract you.
This is why it's always
That's
hard
what
to
I know.
demo, because we're chatting and you can't count and chat at the same time. So imagine I've got a lovely long bit here, which is up to ready to shape my armhole. I've got to slip stitch across 7 stitches to the 3rd treble of the first 7 treble group. You see, when I say it like that, it sounds complicated, doesn't it?
It does. Say that again. Say it again.
So I've got to come across to, these are my little 7 treble groups, these little
7
fan
treble
shapes.
groups,
Yes.
okay.
And so I'm going to basically bring my hook along and my yarn so that I'm here ready to start the pattern. Because I'm shaping it in, I don't want to actually do any stitches on this bit. So a slip stitch pushes into your work, grabs the loop and then just takes the other one over the top. So you're not making a big stitch, you're just moving your hook along basically without having to cut your yarn and start again. Okay, so I'm getting to there. So let's get that one. Okay. Right. So there my slip stitch along. It actually makes a really nice neat edge then.
It does.
Okay, and then we're going to start the pattern across. So we're going to do 3 chain. We're going to do a treble into each of the next 2 stitches. And a treble, yarn over, into the space, pull a loop back through, yarn over, 2 loops off, yarn over, and 2 loops off. I do like a treble.
So it's still across in a row, isn't it? As opposed to, you don't go round doing this armhole.
No, so
shape.
this is yeah, we're working in rows, just like you do when you're knitting, you work in rows. We're going to miss 2 stitches, then we've got a star, we've got a single chain. You can see, I don't know if you can see, this row has got quite a lot of information on it. So it's just really important that you kind of keep track of where you are on the rows, so it will come out correctly. But you can very quickly see with crochet if your pattern's working,
If you've gone wrong.
if you've got your fans in the right spaces. And crochet is so easy to undo.
Whereas with knitting, you could go rows and rows and not realise you have a hole.
So it's much easier to undo than your knitting. So I've got to there, 1 chain in a single treble work. So I'm down to here and I'm going to do 1 treble, 3 chain and 1 treble. So this makes the basis. When I work the row back, this is what my little 7 treble group will be behind. So it will go round those 3 chains. So you, when you do your treble, 3 chain treble, as long as it's between the ones that you've done before, you know you've got it in the right place. 1 chain. Okay, and then in my next group I missed the first 2 trebles. I'm going to do a treble into each of the next 3 stitches.
Oh, isn't it, Jan? She's just put what a lovely pattern.
It's a really nice pattern. I think this is what I like about crochet is that you only don't need to know a huge number of complicated stitches to make really nice patterns, and patterns that look really complicated and actually they're not, they're just using the stitches that you know. Okay, I missed that. And then you get repeat between the stars. Now people often get confused by that. So where they've given you an instruction and it's between 2 little asterisks, go back and just keep doing that until you get repeat. Yeah, it'll say so it says repeat from star to the last group of 7 trebles. So just keep doing that same thing over and over along your row until you get to the end, and then have a little look, make sure you get that end of the row right. So you get to the point with it, not very far in, that you pretty much learn your pattern and you know if you're going in the right place or not, and then you've just got to pay attention when you get to the ends to get that end bit right. So with this, because we're shaping the armhole, won't go right along, we'll actually finish a little bit sooner, so that we've got the shape on this side as well.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Making sense to you?
I think so, yeah. It will be to everybody at home, I'm sure. I'm not going to lie, Katharine. You could be saying
Vicky's a bit
anything.
like...
I know, it does still sound like a foreign language to me.
I can tell this morning, you're like looking at me like, okay.
You could be saying anything, and I don't know whether Joe and Kat either would know if you were saying something completely wrong. Rebecca Reed would probably be the only person that would be sitting here going, yeah, I understand, and she would understand. But at home, you all understand.
All of you lovely
everybody
ladies and
who
gentlemen
crochets
at
home, of course you understand. Message in on Facebook.
I should talk to my dad afterwards and he'll go, well, I liked Sewing Street, but I've no idea what you were doing.
Yeah.
So I'm across to my next little group of 7 trebles, and I'm doing my 3 across the top.
This is the only crocheted top that we've got today, though, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Okay.
The other ones today are knitting. But if you're new to crochet, don't be deterred by this. This is not. It's not as hard as maybe I'm making it sound.
No, you're not making it sound difficult at all.
As long as you sort of keep track
Follow
of
your
where you
pattern.
are on your pattern, then you'll be fine. I mean, now I've sort of done that first bit.
You're
get
off.
it, yes, and you start to learn your pattern quite quickly. That when you're working on the top of the fan, you're in little groups of 3. The bit in between, you're making your base for the next fan, and then when you come back along, you'll be doing your groups of 7 trebles, you see, to make the fan shape.
I like the blue. Is the blue or the white the most popular cat?
Is it?
Yeah,
I think
white.
it's a lovely blue.
It is a lovely blue.
Yeah, I think it's a gorgeous blue.
White's
I
the most
definitely
popular
wear
at the moment.
this blue.
Yeah, that is a lovely. What sort of blue would you call that? Is it? Does it say on the? I think they've called it smoky blue. It's just like a light denim blue, isn't it?
It's really pretty.
Nice for your jeans.
It would look nice with your jeans. I don't tend to wear white particularly, but that's just me. That's because I'm quite pale, and would make me disappear.
No, the blue is a lovely colour. It looked nice over a white shirt, actually, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
That'd look really nice over a white shirt. There's less than 10 of the white remaining. Less than 10 now.
Wow.
If you do want the white, do be quick to check out. The blue is the one that's on the side graphic. It's EJ6668, your item code number.
I want to just try and get to the end so I can just
Okay.
start to come back along, but you can keep chatting to me because
I can. I
yeah,
get
you can.
scared of how much I can talk to you.
But because I'm not counting on this bit, so you're all right.
I was going to tell you because you were looking at the pattern then, and you were stitching, and you were talking, you were breathing.
It's
multitasking.
taking multitasking to a new level, isn't it?
Love the blue. Is the neckline wide? It looks quite wide on the model. It looks like it's sitting off the shoulder, doesn't it?
I think that's probably just because it was quite big on her.
Yeah.
Because I remember trying one of these ones on when we demoed it last time, and I don't think it was quite as enormous
No,
as it looks.
Amy is quite tiny, isn't she? It is. I don't think it's a off the shoulder number. No.
If you look at the pattern picture, it isn't. I think if it's your size on there, it looks really quite modest, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't need to worry. It's not going to be falling off your shoulders. I think it's slightly large. But also, remember, there is a sizing guide as well, so you can make it smaller or larger, can't you? Depending on, obviously, you've got there, you can see your sizing. It's not just one size fits all, basically.
Oh, no,
Katharine.
no, not at all. No, you go and buy your best size on this one. Yeah. And it's not a really tight fitting top, so don't think, oh, it's going to be really tight. Go with your actual size, and I think it will be a correct fit. Right, let me see where we're at. To the last group of 7s trebles, that's there.
Thank you for all of your responses, by the way, on the online fan page. I was asking lots of people about crocheting onto the back of knitted cardigans and personalising them, and lots of people were replying to me, so thank you for your help.
The Yarn Lane fan page is really
Great,
nice.
isn't it?
Yes, I go on there quite a bit.
I'll put it on. And I think it was silly o'clock. I think I was up doing a night field or something. I just thought, do you know who I'm going to ask? The Yarn Lane fans. Straight away, there was responses. I mean, in the night, there was so many people who were messaging me. So yeah, thank you very much for your response, and you've really helped me. I've now invested in one of those tools that we had on the website that does French knitting. I'm going to get one of those.
So I've got to the end of this row, the last little 7 trebles, and I've just got to do my 3 little treble block, and then I'm not going right to the end because of it being the shaping. I'm just going to turn round to come back. So there's no slip stitches on this end. You can just stop and you can turn ready to go back.
Ah, brilliant.
Okay, and then if I just start this row, you'll see how the little fans appear. So we're going to start with 4 chain at the beginning, and then we're going to go straight into 7 trebles in your little 3 chain space that you made. So let's just get a bit of yarn. I really like crocheting with cotton as well. Feels really nice on your hands.
Washable as well, isn't it? At 30
yes,
degrees.
yes.
Kat's asking, after you've washed it, do you need to reblock it?
You probably want to dry it flat, reshape it and dry it flat, but you do that with most hand knitted and garments really.
Right, okay.
Or hand crocheted garments.
What's
yeah.
blocking then? What does that mean?
So blocking is when you before you put it all together, you might spread it out to the finished size and shape and stretch it a little bit, and you can pin it in place.
Right.
And you can steam it or you can spray it with water, and it should then get to the size you want. So you often do it with granny square blocks.
Okay.
If you've done different ones and they've come out slightly differently,
sizes,
just to get them all the same
manipulate it a
before you
bit.
put them all together. And you can do that with your garments if you maybe one bit's gone a bit wiggly or something like that. You can get them nice and straight. That's blocking it.
Oh, thank you.
I wouldn't, once I'd put it all together, if I'd washed it, I don't think I'd re-block it, but I'd lay it all flat and make sure it hadn't stretched out of shape in any funny places. They used to say put it on a towel and roll it up in a towel.
Oh,
It's dry, you can do that.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've done 4 trebles into that space. We'll do 3 more and then you'll see how we've got the little fan.
It's still nice and soft. I know a lot of people, fear working with the cotton, thinking that it's...
No, cotton's lovely to work with because it does wash and everything nicely. And a lot of people are a bit sensitive to things with wool in, actually.
Yeah.
We started using cotton because when my eldest daughter was very tiny, she was really allergic. She had very bad eczema, and the wool, anything wool, brought it up terribly.
Ah.
So we just did everything in cotton because that's what she could cope with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good for littlies as well.
There's a question that's come in for you, Catherine. Could you size it up if your bust is bigger than the largest size?
I don't see why not. You might need more yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all if it's a lot bigger. So it tells you how many chain you've got per size, and it goes up in 8 chain to start off with. So you just need to add more on. I wouldn't tackle it unless you were a really competent crocheter, just because of working out your edges of your pattern.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for your message though. Right. Anything else you wanted to mention
No,
on this one?
I think we're good on that. And yeah.
Yeah, happy. If you've got
It's
any
a lovely
questions, get
pattern.
them in. It is a lovely pattern. I love that fan shape. It's the first time I've seen that fan shape, actually. It looks beautiful. It looks very complicated, like you said, but actually 3 stitches,
It's not.
you can do it. So just a quick recap, you get 6 of the blue. I think our graphics for white. For blue, you get 6 of your yarn, your cotton yarn, which is enough to do the largest size with sleeves. It's up to you whether you want to do it with sleeves or without sleeves. Sleeves like the ones on the mannequin and on the picture, and without sleeves I've got here. The blue's gone into the lead now. I do love the blue. We did start with more of the blue though. There are less than 10 of the white, just to remind you. So if you do want the white, same pattern. 6 of your cotton yarns, £20.99. Should we go on to the burnt orange? Burnt orange. So with the burnt orange, it's the one that you can see behind me here. This is lovely for autumn, actually, isn't it? Really lovely for autumn. And it's a very sort of lacy pattern, Catherine.
Yes, it is. It is. This is an all-over pattern. Again, you can do it with sleeves or without sleeves.
Oh, I like that. That is gorgeous, isn't it?
It does look really nice.
Does it really nice? I love the colour of the yarn as well. This is again your cotton yarn.
It is.
Isn't it?
It will. Yes, everything we're doing is cotton today.
Brilliant.
And this one goes from a 30-inch up to a 44-inch bust. And
Is that larger than the other pattern then? Or
I think it's about the same.
I think it's about the same.
About the same.
So you do get your pattern included as well. £17.99. This is enough to be able to do the largest size with sleeves or without. 5 balls of your Marinus Spice. It is a lovely colour. Double knit, 100 gram of cotton yarn. So what needles do you need for this, Catherine?
You need 3 1/4 and 4 mil needles. So that's 10s and 8s in old
money.
In old money. Yeah.
So this is knitting now.
We're on knitting. We've got 2 needles.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of stitches on our needles. And what I've done with this one now, very interestingly,
we've got it in variegated grey, Catherine, as well.
That's the one when I demoed these kits before. That's the one I wore. So if you find whichever show it is, I'm modelling that one.
Oh, we'll have a look. Who's knitted this for us? Andrea, thank you for knitting this. That is beautiful. It was the 21st of May.
Ages ago.
And the variegated is lovely, isn't it?
It is.
You get 5 of your variegated cotton yarn and you get your pattern. And this is what it will look like. So there it is with the longer sleeve. But you can also have it with a shorter one as well.
Yes, you've got a choice on both. Whether to do sleeves or without sleeves.
I do really like that. And you just have a little t-shirt, a little cami underneath, a little white t-shirt or something. That's really lovely. I like that Amy's put a roll neck underneath, like a turtleneck.
See, I would wear it like that in the winter. I always do lots of layers in the winter.
Really nice. Love that. Good idea. Okay, so you've got a lot of stitches on there, haven't you?
I cast on for the sleeve actually, just because there's so many. If I do a front or a back.
Do you ever use circular needles?
I do. I'm not so keen on them.
No.
I personally like.
Well, you've been knitting a long time, haven't you?
It's just what I'm used to. But I will use circular ones if I have to, if that's what the pattern calls for. Right, let me see where I got to with this, what I was going to show you. Now, the pattern is actually the same as the pattern for the pink sweater. So I'm going to show you the pattern on that one. What I was going to show you on this one is there is a really nice, can you see, a scalloped border on your edges of your sleeves and your, I think is it along the neckline as well?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it's a pretty scalloped edge. So I was just going to show you that because I didn't show this the last time I demoed it.
Brilliant.
So what you need to imagine is that I've knitted my sleeve here. I've done a little row of the pattern. You can see it's a really nice lacy pattern actually.
Yeah, it's lovely.
How it comes out. And then you get to, you pick up all your stitches, and I have picked up along there, and you do this whether it's the neck or whether it's the sleeve. And for the hem as well. Interestingly, they do the hem on a circular needle if you want to.
Okay.
Yes, but you don't have to. So I've picked up my stitches along the edge and I've knitted 3 rows, and then you change to your 4 mil needles, and I've done 4 rows of stocking stitch. Then as you cast off, you do this funny thing every 4 stitches. So what you do is you actually knit. Normally I would just knit all the loops on the let me start again. I'm getting tired now.
It's been a long time.
So when you cast off, you do that, you knit 2 stitches and you take the back one over the top, and that casts you off. But every 4th stitch, the one that you knit needs to be right down, just take that back, right down here at the start of your stocking stitch, and it's going to pull it tightly and make this little scalloped edge.
Okay.
Which you can see I've started doing. So it seems kind of a weird thing to do because you've got to pick it up down there.
How do you know where that stitch is?
So let's have a look.
Oh, you can count your rows.
So you're going to still count along the top. So you knit your next stitch and it just says 4 rows below. Well, I know I've done 4 rows of stocking stitch, so I know that's where I've got to do it.
Okay.
And then it tells you to cast off 4 stitches in between.
Right.
So that you get them nice and even. And when you knit this low one, you want to pull it really, really nice and tight. So you've got to pick it up and knit it and pull it really tightly so that it pulls it in, so that you get this scallop. You don't want to see a sort of long stitch. Right, I'm going to do 4 more and then you'll be able to see the bit that I did. So then you do 4 normally. 1, 3. Casting off is so much easier than casting. So can you see there? That's the one that I did that's nice and low. And it's pulling it down. So then you carry on again, picking up this low one. So it's just a nice little fancy technique of finishing off to make this nice little edge. Not difficult, but pretty.
So you can use this technique then again on blankets or whatever
you could use
want,
it on absolutely on different things.
Variegated, very, 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 very popular. I think it sold out back in May when it was launched. We've got it back in stock and there are less than 15 now. It is your side graphic, the grey, white, short sleeve, lacy top. But remember, you can do it with a sort of like a cap sleeve, isn't it, really? This one.
Yeah, it's not a very big sleeve at all when you knit it. You just find the bit of the pattern to tell you about it. So I'd done the 8 rows, and from that point there, you start shaping it. So it's not a very big sleeve at all.
It is more of a cap sleeve than a
absolutely,
sleeve, yeah.
Which is nice. I think just a nice little. Yeah. I like that style myself.
Especially if you're layering it, it's nice. I'm a big fan of layers because you know what it's like when you're in the winter, and then you get inside somewhere, and then it's too hot in the shop, and then I'm one for layering, definitely.
I'm always cold, so I have to have lots of layers.
Kat, you didn't take the advice this morning, did you? She hasn't done any layering. She's just gone straight for the jumper, and now she's really hot. It's meant to be boiling this weekend. We're meant to have a heat wave again, aren't we?
They've been promising that all week, though, and it hasn't. It's been grey, hasn't it? It's been grey. And not that warm, I don't think.
Knitting, are you counting right now?
I'm only counting 4. I can manage that.
Okay.
Were you going to ask me something?
I was going to talk to you, but then I thought, no, don't talk.
You can talk to me, it's okay. All I'll do is I'll just go, oh, I've lost my place.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. When I was little, my mum did loads of crocheting, and she'd always be like, shh, I'm counting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to wait for her to get to the end.
Yeah.
Yes. But, I think there's less counting in knitting.
Oh, my word. I'd do my rows in my blanket, and then I'd count at the end to just check. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, how have I picked up 10 stitches? Or how have I dropped?
Are you knitting
8?
a blanket?
Knitted it.
Have
finished
you?
It.
Wait, was it one of the ones that was on
The
here?
fluffy one. Remember
Was
the
it?
fluffy
Oh,
one?
brilliant.
Yeah, remember it was back in, before I had Maisie, obviously.
Yeah.
And you said that you were going to finish it for... Did you have the fluffy... I'm sure it was with you.
I was going to carry on. Yes, because I demoed it, yeah. I was going to carry on and make mine into a scarf because I only did a small bit. I did finish it.
Have you
for my
finished
daughter.
it?
Yes,
Oh, good.
I did. One of the few things that I finished.
But mine, I was going to do the sort of bobbly pattern, but then just decided to just knit.
Yeah, but it's so soft that
It's
yarn
lovely.
is lovely. Oh, well done you.
Thank you.
Well done. So what are you going to do next?
I'm going to do my... Well, I'm going to jump back on the sewing machine and do my
Your
pants.
bloomers.
Yeah, my bloomers.
Am I sorting you out with all your projects?
You
at
are
the
sorting out
moment?
with all my projects. My mum wants a project, actually, a knitting pattern for Christmas. She wants a cardigan to knit for Maisie for Christmas, like Christmassy colours.
Nice.
So that's my next purchase from Yarn Lane, I think. I'm keeping my eye out for Christmas projects.
I was doing Christmas knits the other week, but they weren't little ones.
Oh, okay.
They were adult ones.
Oh, I saw them. They were
I know.
amazing. I wore one of them on the show afterwards. And
They were great, weren't they?
they were brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They were
That's
so
it. That's
good.
my Christmas done. I'm not doing any more Christmas
Yeah.
now, is there anything else special to tell you about this? No, all the borders are the same. Even if you do sleeveless,
Okay.
it suggests that you do this scalloped edge. I think the lady whoever's done that one has chosen not to do a scalloped edge. They've just done a plain border, and that's really lovely too, actually.
Love them both. In fact, let's find out who it is that's knitted this one for us, because I should say hello to you and thank you very much to Julie Edwards, who has knitted that one. And it does look lovely as well, just with the straight edge.
I think she's done just a nice garter stitch edge by the look of it, which is just plain knitting.
Brilliant. Thank you, Julie. We love it. And that colour is beautiful, isn't it? That really, really does suit it perfectly. $17.99 for your kit with that kit. Thank you, Wendy. She's put, wow, very impressed that you finished the blanket, Vix. You've given me a proud mama feeling. Can't wait to see your word art. Where? Oh yes, I need to have a go at this word art as well. What I'm going to do. What do you mean? Kat's like, stop taking the credit. I did knit it, but my mum helped me finish it. She put pom-poms on the end and everything for me. No, she didn't, Kat. Kat's like, your mum knitted it. Stop lying to yourself. Do not tell Maisie that my mum did it. I did it. Right, anyway, are you happy? Is there anything else you wanted to mention with this one?
No, we'll talk about the pattern on the pink one because it is the same pattern.
Absolutely, right. So the pink, it's such a beautiful, beautiful kit as well. Look at this. It's such a lovely colour. It's got the same back as the grey one that's behind me as well. So the front of it is lovely. Mm-hmm. I think I could do that. But then I look at the back and think, oh my word, this is where I pass it to my mum to finish it. Because that's the back of the garment, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's a really nice feature to have a pretty back.
Oh, it's so lovely. And that pink, I love, love, love it. Already, loads of these have been checked out. 13 left already. It's $14.99 for your whole kit. And this one, when you say it's the same pattern...
The lacy pattern on the back is the same as the lacy pattern on the other one. I realised as I was sat knitting them ready for the demos, it was like, oh, these are basically the same.
Right, so the difference is obviously the other side of it.
Yes, and you've got a different edging on this one. You've got what's called a picot edging.
That's the one that I was supposed to be doing on the edge of my blanket, the picot.
And did you get scared?
Yeah. Are you showing how to do a picot edging?
Well, I will explain it.
Thank you.
Yes, because it's not that difficult.
No, it's not that difficult. I did it once, and then the next time I thought it doesn't look like a picot edge at all. I think I was overthinking it. But you can adapt your patterns, can't you?
You can adapt your patterns, absolutely.
Right, over to you. Oh, hang on, no. I say over to you. We have got it in grey as well, Kat's telling me. So the grey that's behind me here is this like charcoaly grey. And this is the one, again, that you can see the back has got... Oh, I can't spin it. You can see it from the picture. This was from Marilyn. Thank you, Marilyn, for knitting this one. $14.99. That is a lovely
I like that
back.
colour. I wear a lot of grey in the winter.
That would be
That's
really,
nice
really nice
colour.
for the winter as well.
Yeah.
Right, $14.99 for the grey. Nice layered as well with your black polo neck jumper, isn't it? But this is again your cotton yarn as well. $14.99.
Buy a grey and a pink, make something stripy because they go really well together.
Perfect.
Don't they?
Perfect. That'd be brilliant. That would be really lovely. In fact, could you do half of it, the front of it, pink and the back?
You could, couldn't you? You could.
Is that how you do it in sections? So you would work the front and then work the back,
Yes,
and
so
then stitch them together.
you knit your back, you knit your front, you knit your sleeves, and you stitch them together.
Yeah, brilliant. So you could do it multicoloured.
You could if
13
you
of the pink
wanted.
left, 14 of the grey left. They're both very, very popular. Both popular, but look at that. That is a beautiful design. And thank you, Margaret, as well. Thank you, Margaret, who has knitted this one for us. It's lovely. Right, so what part of it do you want to show then?
So what I've done on this, I cast a sleeve on. Again, this can be with sleeves or without sleeves, whichever you prefer. And I've actually knitted where the little picot edge goes. So what happens with this is you knit 4 rows in stocking stitch, and then you knit a row where you knit 1, yarn forward, knit 2 together all the way along, so that when you purl back along, you've got a whole row of little holes. When you come to finish your garment, this folds up and stitches in place and makes your little scalloped picot
Oh, I
edge.
love that.
So it's a really simple way to make your pretty edge. Okay, so that's how you do that. And I believe I demonstrated that picot edge on the last time I did it.
Right, remember that
Which
was
is why I
the
haven't knitted
20th
it
of
this
May.
time, because I'm sure I did it last time.
Okay, I'll watch that back.
So going on to the pattern, it's an 8-row pattern. All your even rows are purl rows. I'm on row 3, and I'm showing you this row because there's a little bit an interest, sort of not tricky, but a different stitch. So we're going to start by knitting 1. We're going to knit 1, yarn forward, and then we're going to slip 2 stitches off together. Now quite often you only slip 1 stitch, but we're going to slip 2 off together. We're going to knit 1, and then we're going to pass both of those 2 stitches over the top. Yarn forward. We're going to knit 2. I've picked up 2 different knitting needles here. I've got the wrong size one. Never mind. I just thought, oh, that's
Will
odd.
that make a difference? Does
Well,
it,
yes.
Should you use
Yes,
matching
yes, you should,
needles?
because they are a different size. So yeah, I
Well.
don't really want this one, but I've just picked it up by accident. There was a little trend. There was a trend in the 80s where you knitted with one really fat knitting needle
Yeah.
and one really thin
And what
one,
was it out-
and
what
you
did
got
it
like
look like?
big loopy rows and then little tight rows in
Yeah.
between. So it made really interesting patterns. Funnily enough, it's not a trend I've seen come back though, but I do remember doing that. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that again. So the yarn forward, and then it's slipping 2 off together, knit 1 and pass the 2 stitches over. Yarn forward and knit 2. Yarn forward. So it's important to follow your pattern so that all the little lacy bits, holes, get in the right place. If you're fairly new to knitting and you're someone who tends to lose your stitches a little bit, just keep checking once you've got to the end of the row. You know, check you've got the right number still.
You've got quite a loose tension, haven't you?
I am a fairly loose knitter and crocheter. Helps it all slide.
Yeah. My tension's too tight.
That's because you've not been doing it very long and you're still a bit like,
Nervous, yeah.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
I bet you forget to breathe as well.
Oh yeah, I always forget
But you're
to
holding your
breathe.
breath while
Get to the
you're
end of the
doing
row
it.
and go, ah, and breathe.
So it's also easy if I do things a little bit looser, it's easier for me to show them as well. And you can tell also if you're doing it correctly, because when you get to the end of the row, your pattern will work out. You won't finish in the middle of the little pattern. So it's just a case of keeping your eye on it. So same thing all the way along with this yarn forward, slipping 2 off together, knit 1 in between. I'm going to pass the 2 stitches over, yarn forward again, knit 2. And it seems like you're getting rid of stitches, but because you're doing the yarn forwards, you're not, because that will make this, that will keep the right number of stitches as you go back along on your purl row.
There's only 8 of the pink left. It's the main graphic at the moment, that lovely pale pink. Lots of people getting the variegated as well. I actually think the variegated grey from earlier on is the most popular of the day. I'd get both of those colours together, the variegated grey and the pinks.
Pink and grey, such a lovely, lovely colours together.
Is this like your sewing room as well? Do you build up a lot of your stash of yarns? Do you have lots of different colours at home?
I don't have a lot of yarn actually. I don't tend to do that much knitting for myself. I don't really have time to knit these days. That's the trouble. So and due to all the unfinished sewing projects, I don't have any like unfinished knitting projects as well.
Do you do knitting and crochet workshops at the craft centre?
I do crochet ones. Don't do as many knitting because knitting's not a very fast thing.
No.
So if you're doing a workshop, it's not terribly satisfying because you can't come away with a finished thing. Well, you can sew something in a few hours, can't you?
Yeah.
But knitting, not so much.
No.
But yeah, I will teach it, but I don't tend to do dedicated ones. I've completely lost my place now.
Oh.
Let's see where I got to. That's a yarn over. We'll wing this bit because I don't know where I've got to, but it's near the end, and then we'll go across. Oh. I'm gonna have a hole in the wrong place, Vicky.
I'm not talking, Kat. That's talking to me.
That's all right. I can talk now because I'm going to purl back across. So
purling back across.
I'm purling back across, which is easy. So as you purl back across, because of where you've put your yarn forward ones, you can see it doesn't look like a normal stitch. It's just literally looped over the needle. But you need to purl that back in so that it makes the stitch. So you've got enough stitches on your needle. And then you've got your little nice lacy holes forming. So don't think, oh, what's that weird thing? That is supposed to be there and you're supposed to knit it. We'll go back onto the proper size knitting needle now.
What needles did you say you are using with
so
this one?
it's a size 3 1/4 for the sort of rib part, your picot edge part, and then you change to your 4mm needles for your main body of your sweater.
How do you change needles during?
Well, just like I did there, where you just literally start knitting onto the other size. Yeah. Again, you've got your tension square on this one. So it's 20 stitches and 31 rows. Wants to be around 10 centimetres.
It amazes me watching people knitting though. You know, so many people sit there and almost just can do it in their sleep.
When you're not doing a pattern and you're just doing normal knitting or purling, then you don't really need to look at it. You can just sort of do it. The other thing on this pattern, which is quite good, it gives you a finished size. It also gives you a finished length from the back of your neck.
Oh, that's good as well.
Yeah, because we are all different sizes, aren't we? So, you know, if you're particularly short or particularly long, you know whether to add a few rows. Say you wanted to lengthen it, just make sure you keep working in your blocks of 8 rows so that you keep your pattern right.
Right, okay.
And then you can lengthen it by as much as you need.
That's a good idea. Yeah, because this is quite long for me, but I'm short. So, yeah.
You could take a block out if you thought it was going to be too long.
No, it's lovely. Brilliant. The pink, by the way, is very, 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 very popular indeed. I think that's actually caught up with the grey variegated. It's actually neck and neck with that. So do make the most of both of them. Is there anything else that you want to share with the pink?
Nothing particularly, unless you have any other questions.
So I know that you've just answered this, but what size needles did you say you were just using?
These are 4mm.
4mm. Yes. They're the correct ones.
They're the correct ones, yeah. When you're doing it with the right one, it's
the
a
4mm needles. They were on pre-order. There they are on your screen. £3.99. £3.99. There are lots of different needles, crochet hooks, all sorts, all on the website. It's worth having a look after the show and stocking up. Remember, it's one post and packaging across Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. If you have got any questions for Katharine, by the way, if you have got any questions, definitely get them in. I am on the Facebook Live, I think. Yarn Lane isn't on tomorrow, by the way, because of Bank Holiday Bonanza, nor on Monday either. The next time it's on is next Wednesday. So if you have got any questions, get them in the next few minutes. Any questions for Katharine as well, do send them through to us. Brilliant. I think that we're all sorted then. Anything else you wanted to mention about any of the patterns?
No. They're nice, straightforward patterns, really.
Lovely.
As I say, the two knitted ones very similar.
Yeah.
With the pattern, and not really that difficult as long as you follow what it says.
Yeah, follow your pattern.
Yeah.
Which one would you suggest? I was just asked would be the best one for a beginner.
For knitting.
Yeah.
Well, if you did the lace back one, then you're only doing the pattern on the back of the sweater. The front and the sleeves are just plain stocking stitch, knit a row, purl a row. So that's probably a little bit easier than the one that's got the pattern all over.
Lovely. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. Do you know when you're on Yarn Lane next?
10th of September.
10th of September. Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. We'll see you then. Do you
It's
know when
been
you're on
a pleasure.
Sewing Street? Same
10th
day.
of September.
Oh my word, you've got another long
I
day
know.
then.
I'm going to go home and get into training now.
Yeah, enjoy your enjoy your bank holiday weekend, moving your shed.
Yeah.
All your flat packing. Kat's got to go and do all of put her bed together by the sounds of things, or remake it because she says it doesn't sound like he's done it right. But anyway, thank you ever so much, Katharine, for
Thank
today.
you.
It's lovely to see you. Popular is the pink bundle. And that comes with the lace back detail pattern. So you have the stocking stitch on the front and the lace back detail on the back. In the pink, there's 4 for $14.99. We've got 5 of those remaining, just 5 remaining at $14.99. It is a lovely soft pink. Do make sure if you've got anything in your basket today, you are checking out. $14.99. This, remember, is a recap roundup show. Don't know if we're getting these patterns back. We've managed to get them back in from May's show, which was very, very popular. This could be it though. So that one is the most popular. Remember, that's a 30 to a 44-inch bust. We do also have the same pattern. So same pattern again. This time though, we've bundled it with your charcoal grey. Excuse me, same as the one that's behind me here. It comes with 5 of your cotton yarns and also your pattern, and you can do it. Is this one that you could do as a short sleeve option or not?
Yes, all of them can be done without sleeves. if you
Okay,
prefer.
brilliant. So either short sleeves like that or no sleeves. $14.99. You have got enough to be able to do your sleeves there for the larger size. The sizes are there in your pattern, and it goes from a 30 to a 44-inch bust. £14.99. That's your other knitting project today. We have got the lovely oranges as well. This is great for autumn, actually. We were talking about layering up. So again, your sleeveless or sleeve option. We have our orange in sleeveless. This is again your knitting project. We have one other crochet to show you. This is from size 30 to 44-inch bust, and it does look lovely in that colour, doesn't it? Really lovely in the colour. All of the yarn is machine washable, and it's all cotton. I know that the manufacturer does recommend washing at 30 degrees or on a wool wash, but it is all cotton yarn, which is lovely to work with. $17.99. We also have the variegated, same again. This time you can see it with the sleeves, so it's the same as the spice colour, but this time with the sleeves. This one was the one actually that Katharine was wearing back on the 20th of May. If you want to watch the show back to get any more tips, it was the same patterns, so you'll see just different demonstrations. It's worth jotting that date down for YouTube. There's only 11 of the variegated remaining. Only 11 of the variegated. It does obviously come with your pattern as well, all for $17.99. You can see it there with a slightly longer sleeve to the one that I've got here, which is more of a capped sleeve. We then also have your crochet today. Now, right back at the start of the show, we were talking about this lovely fan design in crochet. I love this blue. Thank you ever so much to lovely Adele who has crocheted this for us. There it is with no sleeves. It does also come with a sleeved option, which you can see on the front of the pattern here. Now, yeah, we were talking about, is it more of an off the shoulder, but actually this is how it's designed to sit on your size. £20.99. Obviously it was a bit larger on our model, but I like it that it sort of sits off the shoulder as well. Looks great on it, doesn't it? £20.99 for all 6 of your yarn balls. £20.99, plus you get your pattern. This is your crochet pattern, but even though it looks complicated, Katharine was showing us how it really isn't. Just 3 stitches. Watch back today's date because she did show us the tricky parts of how to do the curve in the sleeve. We also have it in the white option. So the mannequin behind me has got the white with your pattern as well, all 6 of your cotton yarns, and you do have the option of doing it either with a longer sleeve or a shorter sleeve. There's Amy with the long sleeve. Like the idea of laying it up for autumn and winter, but then nice in summer as well. £20.99 for your crochet patterns. Okay, have a look on the website. All of the knitting needles, crochet hooks, anything that that Katharine's been mentioning. Plus, if you've opened your order with us today, you can shop on our website or on Sewing Street website and still only pay 1 postage and packaging throughout the whole duration of the day. You've got today's demo of this on, it wasn't the 20th, excuse me, it was the 21st of May, if you want to watch that back on YouTube, and of course jot down today's date for when you get it home as well. I was going to mention, remember, Yarn Lane isn't on tomorrow, isn't on Monday, so Yarn Lane will be back next Wednesday. Do you know what's coming out next Wednesday, Kat? Oh, is it with me? No. I was going to say Sam Sabido's here. Oh, I love her kits. Adventures from Crafty. They're always brilliant. Brand new Sam Sabido kits. So be there on Wednesday. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you all day today. If you do watch Sewing Street, make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. We're doing Boxing Day Bonanza with some... Sorry, not Boxing Day. I think I need to go and have a sleep too, Katharine. It's not Boxing Day. It's bank holiday in the summer. We are in August, not Christmas. But do join me still. It's going to be a bank holiday bonanza with loads of treats. I'm there at 8 o'clock. See you then. Bye.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites, sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433, and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay 1 postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
In need of a crafting fix? There are so many ways you can watch Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. Sewing Street is live from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day on Freeview 72 and Sky 670. Alternatively, if you want to watch us on a tablet or on the move, you can tune in on our YouTube channel, the Sewing Street app, or the websites at www.sewingstreet.com and www.yarnlane.com. You can watch past shows on Sky 670 from 1 p.m. every day, as well as our YouTube channel, the app, and our website. Yarn Lane is on from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Visit our programme guide to find out when and what's on. So you never have to spend a minute without us.